Folks, welcome back to the Bobby Bo Show. Here's the moves it starts with, and I've been trying the Indian game recently, but I haven't really studied it, so I'm just happy to see book moves here. And now instead of trading pawns, they support it with c3, and I play d5 to take the middle. And this is a great game because it shows that even when you make a mistake and lose a piece, you might still be winning if you have your pieces on better squares than they do. But they play g3, and they're going to play bishop to g2, and that'll be a great square for their bishop. But I'll play h6. To make this bishop decide what it wants to do, doesn't want to trade here or go back, and they decide to trade. So now my queen's on f6, and after bishop to g2, they're ready to castle, and I'll play knight to d7, maybe getting ready to come to b6, then come to the middle. But after they castle, I also want to castle, so I play bishop to e7, and after rook to e1, I castle, and they play e4, taking 2 pawns in the center and creating some tension here. So I play d captures e4, and they take back with their rook, and now their rook is in the middle, not defended by anything, but it could come over here and attack my queen. And after b5, that's what they do, rook to f4, attacking my queen. So where do I move my queen here? Because the only safe option is g6. But after knight to h4, my queen's under attack, and now the bishop is opened up, and it's attacking my rook. And of course, the biggest threat is my queen here, so I have to move my queen, or play bishop captures h4, because after they take my rook, look at the evaluation, still an even game. Maybe I'm winning. Down material here, but I got their knight, and they got my rook. So +2, and after bishop to g5, their rook is under attack, and their bishop is still in the corner. And now rook to g4, pinning the bishop to the queen is okay, but they go e4, defended by the bishop here, and they're just ready to come back. But now I have a crushing move, and I don't find it. But think about it, the only thing defending this rook is this bishop, and if you play knight to b6, you're attacking the bishop. Only safe square is c6, but then you can play e5, and your queen attacks the bishop too. And if they take on b5, you just take the rook, so their best move is just to take the pawn with the rook, and then you take the bishop. And now you're back to even material. But I don't see that. Instead, I'm thinking about resigning, because I did not see this bishop taking my rook, but I also realize that my queen is right in front of their king. They've already moved this pawn forward, so maybe I can just move this h pawn forward and break it open. Maybe there's some sort of checkmate here. My pieces are more developed. They haven't moved this knight or this rook yet, so maybe it's a gambit. Maybe it's not actually a blunder, and it really is a gambit, because I'm winning right now if I find knight to b6. But I don't. I play f5 attacking the rook, and now the rook goes back to safety. But after f4, I'm trying to break this king open, and they just need to play knight to d2. Get the last piece out, connect everything, and they're winning. But they play bishop to e4, getting the bishop out, attacking my queen. Okay, but I go queen to f6. And I wish I would have gone queen to f7, because then the knight can come up. Now I'm blocking the knight's advance. But it's okay, because after queen to e2, lining up their rook and their queen on this e6 pawn, I go for f captures g3, trying to break the king open here. And after h captures g3, there's nothing yet. And really, I'm worried about them taking this pawn here and just breaking open my king and forcing trades. So I move my rook over to e8 to defend the pawn here when I needed to play c captures d4. But it does not matter, because instead of f4 trapping my bishop, they play d5. Still going after this pawn here, trying to break things open, but now knight to e5. And it's getting a little bit tricky here, because after they take my pawn, I take back with the bishop, and they open up this diagonal like they wanted to. Only problem is this pawn is defending this square, so the queen takes the pawn here, but it's a miss. And you have to be careful too, because you're about to lose if you're not careful after bishop to d7. Your queen's under attack. Where do you go? What's the threat here? They don't see it. They go for pawns. Queen captures c5, trying to take another pawn here, but it's a blunder. Now look for the crushing move. And they haven't developed their knight or their rook. This rook is by itself still. Knight to f3 check, forking the king and the rook. Bishop has to take, but now your rook can take their rook. And the king is in check, and this knight can't move because you'll take their rook. But that doesn't matter because you're about to checkmate. King to g2, because they want to defend their bishop and they don't want to get checkmated. But how do you checkmate? Bishop to h3, forcing the king to take, and then you take their bishop. And now your rook and your queen are about to checkmate. You just want to play rook to h1 checkmate if it was your turn. Queen blocking these squares, and this bishop is blocking this square. The king is very restricted. Almost checkmate right now, but it's their turn. And first they start with this check. Queen to c8 check. And now there's no stopping checkmate. You just have to move your king to h7. But now they play knight to d2. And I said they couldn't move this knight because they'd lose their rook. But this knight attacks your queen now. And now you can't checkmate on h1 because the rook would take. So how do you checkmate? Look for the checkmate. Smash like if you found it. And it's called a dovetail checkmate. And it starts with queen to h5 check. The only move for the king is g2. But now queen to h1 is checkmate. And that's how you turn a mistake into a gambit. Make sure you're subscribed for the next episode of the Bobby Bo Show. Thanks for watching. I hope you have an excellent rest of your day. Goodbye.